Ducat Grinder here, and in today's video I'm going to discuss a new concept, almost a satori that I had a couple days ago. And so this is all pretty new to me. This is developing something for myself to use, mostly for longsword, but I'm also seeing some effective potential for sword and shield use. But I'm calling this a setup attack, okay? And so to define that a little bit, what I'm setting up is getting my opponent to decide that basically my leading head is open and they want to cut at me. And so by getting them to do what I want, by doing a different attack that leaves me open there, and that attack is generally not meant to be effective. It's meant to be a feint attack, but it's a full attack, but at range or maybe extended range, so that it's leaving my sword and my range in a place that is chosen by me, as opposed to what would be a full attack, and then I'm at my B range, and therefore probably a little too close for what I really want to do. So I'm going to show a couple of these, and I'm going to show the backside view first, in the thought that might make it easier. I don't know, but let's give this a try. So the first one is I want to be able to do a flick parry on a leading head cut. Flick parry being, as I'm here comes that cut, and I lift up, and as it's coming in, I catch it and flick it over my head, and then I finish with a cut because they've done that. Okay, so that's the first one I'm going to show and see how it works. So I'm in a nice plow, right foot forward. I step in and I strike low, but I'm striking probably at the shield more than a body. I don't want to be that close. So I'm really striking at this range, not at that range. And it's not necessarily a full powered attack because of the fact that I'm not actually striking at a legal target that's going to do something if I hit it. It's more like at the shield. Or if it's another longsword fighter, it's got to be like a front leg or the closest target that they've presented. Maybe even an elbow. Again, working through this. But so here, and then as they cut, right, flick, and then step with a cut, right? So it kind of looks like here, flick, cut. Okay. So that's the first one. Thinking through that. The idea, though, being that the setup attack is leaving my sword, placing my sword in a position that allows me to use this parry effectively for that single time parry cut. Another method would be, again, to use the idea of from Schrenkhut, where I come up and I do like a strike block here, strike block, step with a back edge cut to their leading head, okay? So I need to be able to get them again to cut here. So I'm going to cut, then strike parry, right? Strike parry because it's coming in. I've hit it and stopped it, and I want it to stop. I don't want it to go anywhere else because I immediately then rotate into that back edge finish. Right? So normally I'd be here to that back edge cut, but instead I'm going to be in plow or hubris, but I'm putting the sword here. As they cut at me, strike parry, right? Strike parry, step cut, back So here, here. Okay. All right, so that's the second version. It's in my brain. And by the way, a lot of this takes visualization to be able to even see it on Appel, to do it for Appel, because it's that seeing the opponent's sword, seeing them start to make a block on that setup attack, and then making sure that the sword doesn't get stuck on them or their shield or anything like that. And then I come up to that parry, and I'm seeing that parry happen, you know, in on my mind's eye, and then the finish with the cut. The last one was to do a setup attack that uses the gliding pit block or gliding block parry to the leading head to the then cut. So in that case, I'm going to be, if I was just doing the movement, right, I'd be, here comes that cut, right, and I'm going to block, lift, glide, and then cut as the sword. Now I want that sword to barely be blocked, glide off of that sword over my head, and again leave them in a weakened position for an advantageous return head cut or a straight in cut, right? So it'd be here to there, okay? So what I need to be able to do is I need to do something that is a setup attack that again makes my head look like a target that they can't help but throw at, you know, they cut at my head. And so, you know, maybe step in again here, and then as they cut, step, finish. So again, here, okay, that kind of motion. So it's got to look like, so right foot forward, right hand high, right? Cut, step, finish. Okay. So these are all some very, very important specific things, right? If I start here and go here, I can still do that, but my range is closer to my opponent because my right hand is forward and my left foot is forward, right? As opposed to, you know, here. So if I'm here and then the step is nice and simple, 45 passing step, right? Okay. So again, here. So those are the three setup attack ideas that I have been pondering and visualizing as I consider some of these. Sword and shield version of that flick parry is, and by the way, these are all like master level, really advanced, high level technical techniques because of the nature of manipulating your opponent, and then after that, the timing to do these things right, to technically do it right, assuming the timing was right, and then to finish with a proper cut and the step, etc. So there's a lot of things going on in these. This is why I'm calling them high school master level kata or techniques. From the viewpoint of sword and shield, right? So basically, I want to be, you know, here, and then as my opponent cuts at my leading head here, right? Maybe even I thrust and missed, and my shield's dropped because I'm tired. Then as that cut comes in, the sword is in a position to lift and flick it, just like that longsword flick. Right? Here, flick, and of course I could be here, but then cut, right? So, you know, here, flick, cut. Okay? So from this viewpoint, here, flick, cut. So if I did that same move and I just blocked with my shield, right? It stops my opponent's sword on the shield, and then he's immediately trying to cut me here or somewhere else, right? So if I do this and make a block, now he's hit and coming somewhere else. So I have to then block here or block over here. I don't want that. So anyway, I hope those angles are good. And we'll move forward with a little bit better understanding.